In this video tutorial, you will see a step-by-step process for balancing chemical equations. You will need to have your notebook ready so that you can take notes as we go. Remember, equations are balanced when there is the same number of each type of atom on each side of the equation. Take a moment to write down this reaction just as you see it on the screen. We have nitrogen reacting with hydrogen to produce ammonia. The first step in balancing a chemical equation is listing each type of atom that you have in the reaction. So we're going to list nitrogen and hydrogen. We have those atoms on each side of the chemical reaction, so list them in the same order on each side. The next step is to count how many atoms there are to begin with. So you can see that there are 2 nitrogen atoms on the left, on the reactant side, and there are 2 hydrogen atoms. On the product side, we have 1 nitrogen atom and 3 hydrogen atoms. When you look at the count of nitrogen atoms and hydrogen atoms, you notice that neither is balanced because there are 2 nitrogen atoms on the left and 1 on the right. That is not balanced. The same goes for the hydrogens. There are 2 on the left and 3 on the right, and that also is not balanced. But let's begin looking at the nitrogen atoms. We have 2 on the left and 1 on the product side, so we can multiply the 1 nitrogen atom on the product side by 2, and that will give us a total count of 2 nitrogen atoms. So we need multiples of this molecule in order to have the correct number of nitrogen atoms. When you multiply by 2, that 2 becomes the coefficient in front of the ammonia molecule. When you write the 2 there, box in that molecule to remind yourself that 2 also applies to the hydrogen atom. So now we have the original 3 hydrogen atoms times 2 from the coefficient that we placed up in the blank. And now we have a count of 6 hydrogen atoms. The nitrogen atoms are now balanced with 2 on the left and 2 on the right. Looking at the hydrogen atoms, however, there are 2 hydrogen atoms on the left and 6 now on the right, on the product side. So we will move to the reactant side and multiply by 3, so that now we have 6 total atoms of hydrogen on the reactant side. Remember, that 3 is placed in the blank above to become your coefficient, because that means we have 3 multiples for a total of 6 atoms. Now, both the nitrogen and hydrogen atoms are balanced because the nitrogen atoms are equal to each other on each side, and there are 6 hydrogen atoms on the reactant side and 6 on the product side. Nothing goes in the blank in front of the nitrogen because the equation didn't need any more nitrogens to be balanced. According to the law of conservation of mass, this equation is now balanced, and you can use this step-by-step process to balance other chemical equations.